There's the injured center Yarno going into the locker room on crutches with a sprained knee. They'll measure anyway. Didn't appear to have it. They don't. They're a half yard short. 4th down and a half yard to go.
When it's 10-7 and you've got control of a football game and their defense is stuffing Seattle's offense right now, I think it's a good play.
Ray Guy will come in the punt. Rufus Crawford dropping back as a single safety. 5:19 to play in the 3rd period. Guy's poorest kicking day of the season. They're going after him. He aims it for the near sideline and is skipping out of bounds on the 16-yard line of the Seahawks, where they'll put the ball in play with a 1st down. Let's take a timeout. The score, Oakland 10, Seattle 7.
Out of bounds to 16.
The Grand Prix of Bowling, Sunday, December 9th on NBC, 4 to 6 Eastern Time, 1 to 3 Pacific Time. Reno, Nevada, this is the last of perhaps the most prestigious national bowling tournament of the year and the only pro tournament that features both men and women. The purse, $100,000. Earl Anthony, Dick Weber, Mark Roth, Jay Robinson, Virginia Norton among the women, and Betty Moore. Jim Simpson will be the host for the Grand Prix of Bowling, Sunday, December 9th on NBC at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Ball, 16-yard line, 1st down. We've had a scoreless 3rd period. Now they spread that backfield of Testament and Smith. Testament with the ball. And he gets about 6 or 7 yards as he rolls out to his 22-yard line, where he was met by Willie Hall and Charlie Phillips. Let's give him 7 on it. 2nd down, 3. Ron Howard in at tight end, replacing John Sawyer from Seattle. McCullum and Largent are the wide receivers. There's a rollout by Zorn. He's hit and down.
All right, you notice, Kurt, when they try to pick on somebody, they usually try to pick on Villapiano. If it's some sort of bootleg, they know he's a very impulsive linebacker. However, as of the last 3 or 4 games, he seems to have stopped all that stuff. He's handling his area to the utmost, and he brings Zorn down before he can get outside.
Bill Villapiano injured his knee last year, has come back there, wanted to prove to everybody that he was physically able, and so was running all over the field chasing everything that moved. Now he's settled back down, is playing his zone position there. It is 3rd down, 9, 5 secondary backs on the field. Willie Brown's out there. Zorn will throw for the 1st down. Oh, a great grab by Sam McCullum, number 84, coming across from Montana State. And Zorn had the strike right to him.
Boy, that's about as good a catch as you'll see, and it's certainly as fine a catch as we've seen this afternoon. It's one thing to catch a ball going through the air, but he's very liable to catch Jack Tatum, who's coming the other way. When you leave your feet, you are nothing but fodder out there. Tatum was just a little late getting to the ball, and McCullum made a great catch.
We didn't have 2 left-handed starters opposing one another in any game of the World Series this year, but we got one in a football game. Zorn against Stabler. And Zorn just fired for the 1st down. 10-7, Oakland ahead. Zorn comes out of that pocket, 35, 40. And he's down on the 40-yard line by Ted Hendricks. He hurt Oakland. He's hurt a lot of clubs coming out of that pocket.
However, this is the first time he's been able to go up underneath the pass rush all day. Generally, when he gets in trouble, he finds a way to get free. Today, however, McCoy, Sistrunk, Matusik, they've been standing around waiting for him at the line of scrimmage and still able to put a pretty good pass rush on Zorn. That was the first time he's broken free for about 6.5.
John, up at Seattle, he ran 6 times for 63 yards against the Raiders. That last play gained 6 for the Seahawks. They're on their 40-yard line with a 2nd down and 4. He fakes the handoff. Now he'll run again. He's at the 40. He's at the 45, and he has a 1st down on his 46-yard line.
And you can see
Charlie Phillips.
Phil Yaw, Matusik, McCoy, all those 3 are back there putting their fist on the ground because Zorn's pattern has been destroyed 2 plays in a row. However, on the 2 plays, he's picked up a 1st down, kept Seattle's drives alive, even looking for a little help. There you see Lynch coming up to try and help out. Picks up the 1st, and their drive is still going.
They're on their own 46 with a 1st down. 1:25 to go in the 3rd quarter. Oakland ahead by 3. Back he goes again. A short one out to Smith, 50. Smith knocked down just short of the Oakland 45 by Ted Hendricks.
Well, he's been very effective throwing to his deep receivers throughout the season. Oakland, as a retaliation, has put their linebackers into the deep secondary. This is the first time that he's thrown short to a back, both backs crossing each other, forces the linebackers to come up and make the tackle late. Could be effective. He may do more of it.
Testerman's off the field, and Al Hunter, number 24, replaces him. 2nd down, a short yard to go. Sawyer getting over there on the right side. It's strong right with a tight end on the right. There's Al Hunter, and he has a 1st down to the 38-yard line.
Oakland got a little help. Oakland got their 12th man on the field. Got the official into the act. He still picked up 7. You can see pretty good block at the point of attack. Left tackle, Bebout. However, nobody's on the official, and he brings him down.
Number 89. A timeout. And the end of the 3rd period in the Oakland Coliseum with the Seahawks on the move. And the score, Oakland 10, Seattle 7. This drive started on the Seahawks 16-yard line. And here's the man that's led it, running, passing, getting some help. Brilliant catch by Sam McCullum. Some good running also by Al Hunter.
Al Hunter, Testerman's caught a short ball, picked up some good yardage. Sherman Smith's done a fine job. He's using everyone, and he needs to use everyone. This isn't like the game in Seattle, where Oakland had prepared for Jim Zorn, but they still figured themselves to be a much better football team. Seattle is not going to sneak up and get by anybody any longer. They know everything they get, they deserve. They're starting to pick up chunks. This is the 2nd drive they put together in the 2nd half. However, the 1st one came out with no points with a turnover by Hendricks. They're moving the ball pretty well now. It does 2 things. Puts them in scoring territory and keeps Oakland from getting the ball.
The 11-year-old winner hails from Reading, Ken Schamberg. Our 12-year-old winner comes from Hanford, Mario Salas.
We enter the 4th period. Kurt Gowdy and John Brody in the Oakland Coliseum with the score 10-7 Oakland. We had a scoreless 3rd quarter. The Seattle Seahawks have now marched 46 yards, sparked by number 10 down there on his knee, Jim Zorn, running and passing. They'll have a 1st down on the Raider 38. This crowd is getting anxious here now in the Oakland Coliseum. They don't like the looks of things. Smith and Hunter are the running backs. That's Al Hunter. Hunter, who weighs 195, has inside power. They use him a lot on third down plays, and he can get that first down for you. He was tackled by Otis Sistrunk. Right after this game, coming up will be the Sperry NFL Report. The ball is spotted on the Oakland 34-yard line. The Seahawks with a 2nd and 6. Don Testerman back in from Clemson. His college had a big year, winning 10 and losing 1 this season. There's the rollout. Passes to Testerman. Testerman is ganged up on by Phillips. Willie Hall, 2 men in the secondary, brought him down on the 31-yard line of the Raiders.
And you have got to be alert to handle a back coming out of the backfield like this. Zorn wastes very little time in coming to Testerman. Short fake to Smith. He puts the ball there. Testerman picks it up, and in trying to elude Willie Wood, he doesn't even see Phillips, who gets him just past the line of scrimmage.
This is a 3rd down and a short 3. Houston ahead of Cincinnati now in the 3rd quarter after they were trailing 10-0. There's that deep handoff, and Smith has the first down.
Or close. It looks like
I thought he had it.
I think it looks like a first.
You notice the deep handoff to Smith out of the eye or wherever he is back. Zorn comes back deep, and Smith looks for the hole and then goes.
Well, you've got to. There are a few holes, and very few today for either side. But in order to find them, you must have the option to go off your offensive lineman's block. Being 6-7 yards deep, it gives you an opportunity to do this. It looks as if he's got a first down by about 2 inches. However, he just missed it by an inch.
Short by an inch. They moved that ball back on him. He extended the ball out there when he was hit and dropped down. So John Sawyer, Louis Bullard come in to form 3 tight ends. Al Hunter's in the backfield.
Well, Seattle's 1 out of 2.
4th down and an inch to go. The Seahawks on the 28.5 of the Raiders. We have 4 down linemen now. Al Hunter, he has it. Hunter bucks to the 27-yard line of the Raiders. Art Kuhn and Tom Lynch were wedge blocking for him out in front. So they move the yardsticks down. Seattle in the midst of a drive that has started on their 16-yard line. Jack Patera, little clap of the hand. That's about all the emotion he shows over. Now look at the other man, Madden. This will be the 12th play of the Seattle drive. On the Oakland 27-yard line. 10-7, Oakland ahead. The fake to Smith. Zorn is throwing wide open. Largent, touchdown. Largent for the score.
That's just as good a pattern as you can run. Any offensive receiver would tend to get a little antsy on a pattern like that. Largent went all the way down the field and came back as if he was coming to Zorn. Just as the cornerback Hayes took his eye off of Largent, put it on Zorn. Zorn snuck behind him, was running totally free. That's the way you execute.
The 6th touchdown for Steve Largent. That fake helped set it up.
It helped a little bit, but when Zorn gets outside, there's a lot of things he can do, and a cornerback is really stuck in a bind.
3rd catch for Largent today. The kick by Herrera. The kick is up, and it is good. And Seattle has just driven 84 yards, scored. They've taken the lead. Timeout, 12:20 to play. It is now Seattle 14 and Oakland 10. And they're over there congratulating Largent and Zorn. Largent really was open, his 6th touchdown pass of the season.
They should congratulate Large. And listen, Zorn executed it. He got the ball down there, but all 28 quarterbacks in the National Football League could have completed that pass. And that had to be very well designed. Now, you find situations when you can use a play like that. It's a first down. It looks like it's a ball control situation. Largent goes down, comes back, then turns around and goes into the end zone. That's a beautiful pattern.
Largent, not drafted high, the 8th round out of the University of Tulsa, number 80, now has 922 yards of pass receptions this year. Where do you find them? Well, they're around.
Just look hard.
And then let them play. Fired up Seahawks now will kick it off. They have taken the lead, 14-10. A 12-play drive of 84 yards. Brilliantly maneuvered by Jim Zorn, the quarterback. He is something, this kid. There's a kickoff, a squibbler. Rolling around, fielded by Hart on the 12, up to the 20, 25. And is pulled down on the 30-yard line. He's hit there by Kerry Justin, number 26.
We are experiencing temporary problems with the audio portion of our telecast. We will continue with the video portion of the program and hope to have the problem corrected shortly. Please stand by.
I wouldn't feel too comfortable if I was Harris.
Oh, he's down. Fumbles the ball. Bill Gregory circled in back of him and hit him, number 77.
Van Egan made a good alert play just to make sure he followed Stabler. He could feel pressure. Stabler goes back. He's trying to get downfield. He's very well covered by his receivers are well covered by the secondary. He's got enough time. Nobody's open. And the door is closed.
Reached the 25, a pickup of 7, but they're short of 15 for a first down.
But most of the patterns, Kurt, you'll notice for Oakland are designed to go 15, 16, 17 yards, not 20 or 21 or 22. He called some sort of play to get him into a situation where one good play, he could pick up a first down without having to change his offense.
That was the first completion in the second half for Ken Stabler. Madden says, come on, let's get that first down. Keith Simpson replaces Sammy Green, a linebacker. Simpson's a secondary back. And 3 wide receivers on the field for the Raiders. They're trying to blitz Stabler, so he has to roll. The pass is caught for a first down brilliantly by Dave Casper.
Boy, that's a beautiful play because Stabler got hit just as he threw. He threw it right in the area that Casper had to find. He was forced out of the pocket. This is something you very seldom see with Stabler. It could have been by design. I happen to think it wasn't. Ernie Price puts good pressure on Stabler, throws him down just as he threw it. Casper's got a first down, and their drive's alive.
We understand some of the West Coast stations are having transmission problems. The NBC engineering crew is working on it. We hope to correct it as soon as possible. First down, Oakland on their 45. They're behind in the game, 14-10. The pass sideline. Bradshaw held on to it. His forward motion stopped on the 45-yard line of Seattle. And how he was hit by Cornell Webster from behind. That took concentration.
Cornell Webster had good position on this ball. Earlier in the season, I'm not sure Stabler was throwing the ball with as much zip on it as he threw this one. From the time he decides to throw to when that ball's gone, he's as quick as there is in this game. Webster was in good position. He just put it where nobody else could get it but Bradshaw.
The Raiders have a first down. Whittington is out, Hart is in. Bradshaw is out, Biletnikov's in. They're on the Seattle 45. This is Hart. Hart cuts it and is out of bounds on the Seattle 39.5, driven out by the left end, Ernie Price. That'll make it 2nd down and 4 to go. Put it on the 40, they spot it. 2nd down and 5 to go. Time, 9:18 to play. Seattle leading 14 to 10.
How many times have you seen Oakland in this similar situation in the Oakland Coliseum? I have not seen them come up short very often either.
Well, not when you win 67 and lose 12 since they moved in here. Baylor's pass pops out of the hands of Branch. That's about 3 that Branch has dropped today, right in his hands.
Branch seems to be having a little trouble with his footing out there. He started to run just a little bit before he got that ball, trying to put a maneuver on the cornerback. Both sides have been guilty of that once or twice.
Branch has caught 4 for 60 yards, but not that one. All the fans that are just joining us, we're here in the 4th period in the Oakland Coliseum. This is Kurt Gowdy and John Brody. Oakland is behind. Seattle just drove 84 yards to score. 3rd and 5 for the Raiders. The pass and knocked down, falling down on the 25 is 81 Bradshaw. They were trying to get the ball to him, and he went down under his own power.
Kerry Justin played them very well. They were in a 5 or 6 back defense. You must, in order to get those receivers as they get off the line of scrimmage, stick with them. He stuck with them like a shadow and forced him to change his route 2 or 3 times. That's too many.
The young Seattle Seahawks are trying to do something no team has done to the Raiders since 1965. Beat them twice in the same season. They've defeated Oakland 27-7 in Seattle, and they're ahead here 14-10. Ray Guy in punt formation on 4th and 5. And he drives that one deep. And that is into the end zone for the touchback. It'll be Seattle's ball, 1st down on the Seattle 20. And we'll take a timeout. There are 9 minutes to play. The score, Seattle 14, Oakland 10. And just a reminder about those games coming up next Sunday on NBC. Among the early games will be an interesting interconference affair between Miami and Washington. Miami was upset today, and we have 2 great games at 4 o'clock Eastern time.
And in mentioning the Miami-Washington game, it's big for either team. It looks like it might determine whether one of those teams gets a wild card spot. And not only that, now we've got New England at Dallas. It looks like both those teams could be champions of their respective conferences. Then we have Pittsburgh at Houston. How long has Houston been wanting to crack at Pittsburgh?
Well, they beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. They were behind today, Houston. They went ahead of Cincinnati. If they hold on there, they'll be 9-4. Pittsburgh plays here in San Francisco tomorrow night.
And I think both teams might have been looking a little bit ahead. You know, they're both playing 1-11 football teams. They know they've got a big game next week. You must remember to win the one you're playing.
Those people that have just joined us that were watching the New England-Baltimore game, if there's any change there in Baltimore, we'll bring you up to date on it. 1st down for the Seattle Seahawks. Zorn to Sherman Smith. Smith dropped in the 21. He's hit by Ted Hendricks, who's been absolutely brilliant today, chasing plays from sideline to sideline.
This is about as well a played football game, Kurt, with as low a score as we have as I've seen in some time. It is true that there have been a few balls dropped. However, defensively, linebackers have come up with big plays time and again. Beeson's having a big day. Hendricks is having a big day. And I'll be very surprised if Jim Zorn sits on a 4-point lead.
Sam Cunningham just ran 5 yards for a touchdown. New England 35, Baltimore 14. Now they're tight end left. That makes it strong left formation. 2nd down, 9. Zorn with a great fake. Throwing deep to Largent. Incomplete. He's out of bounds juggling the ball out, and a drop, and incomplete. But what a fake by Jim Zorn.
That's what he does. He was well covered by Monty Jackson. Largent made the move. He knew when Zorn was coming toward him, the worst thing he could do is run toward the receiver. He tried to spread the distance between he and Zorn, so if Zorn decided to run, he could. It turned Monty Jackson's back, but he made a fine defensive play to catch Largent before he could bring the ball in.
Well, I can see we've talked to a lot of players that have played against Zorn, defensive players, the Steelers, Denver, players like that, and they say this kid drives you nuts, Zorn. Rolling out, running quarterback draws, faking the ball, play action passing. Here he is rolling left. And he fires the ball. He's got his receiver McCullum for a first down, and that's what they want. They want first downs now to use the clock up.
I'll tell you, if we get a look at his throwing motion here, this is picture perfect. Very few people can throw the ball with as much velocity on it running sideways as they can standing still. In fact, I know no one. However, that ball had as much zip as any ball throughout the day.
John Madden, anxious. His team has won 8, lost 4. Denver's won 8, lost 5. San Diego was beaten today, and Seattle can be just a game behind them if they hold on to this lead. They'll break the 500 barrier. Smith dropped at the 35. And he's hit there by the big end, Charles Filyaw. 6'9" and 270. That's a loss of 3. It's 2nd and 13. Time remaining, 7:45. Seattle leading 14-10. Seattle's had 2 outstanding drives today, 84 yards and 80 yards. Both drives culminated by touchdown passes. Zorn to Rabel of 38, and then Zorn to Largent of 27. Second and 13. Smith. 2 or 3, and that's all. Rod Martin in there. John Matuzak, 72, the left end. It'll be spotted on the 38-yard line of the Seahawks. 3rd and 10. Coming up right after this game, the Sperry NFL Report. They'll have all the highlights, details of what happened today around the NFL.
Seattle 37.
The New England Baltimore fans, we switched out here, a tighter game. We'll keep you abreast of the New England score in Baltimore. New England leading 35-14. Zorn on 3rd and 10. Looks the field over. It's hit by 76. Mike McCoy. McCoy deflected at the line of scrimmage. The veteran of Notre Dame, his 9th year, comes to the sideline.
And I think going into the game, Mike McCoy knew this was the biggest game he's played in the last couple of years. He's been used sparingly. He's come in since Dave Rowe was removed. This is the best game he's had. He's made 4 or 5 individual tackles. He has allowed nobody to run the draw on him. He's kept Zorn from going up the middle, and he's forced big turnovers.
Punt formation for Herm Weaver. The driving spiral to Colsey. Takes it on to 30, 35. Keeps going and is driven out of bounds. He's hit there by Steve Rabel, 83, who put the final bang on him. So the Raiders will take over in their own territory.